What a sight it is. White sand, warm sun, blue sky. All you need is the sound of the surf and you'd think you were on the coast. Well, the sand is actually salt. And as far as everything else goes, it's no day at the beach, that's for sure. Just east of Wendover, Utah, lies a land of pearl white that stretches to the horizon, the Bonneville Salt Flats. Every year, professional racers from around the world come out here to put their lead feet to the test and bury the needle at 400-plus miles an hour. But there's one event where it doesn't matter what you're driving or whether or not you have an international sponsor. For a few days in September, world records are broken by average drivers in surprisingly average cars. And while some may only top out at 75 miles an hour, the thrills are always redlined.
Each year there are 3 or 4, maybe 5, depending on how you categorize them, meets. This is the second of the big meets, the World of Speed. And what happens at this race is people bring cars of every imaginable description. And what we're doing is we're going to break world land speed records. It's very much collegial, it's very much amateur. There are no pros here. And in this car, I broke that land speed record a month ago at 226 miles an hour. One of my competitors took the record, so he bounced my record of 226 to 236. And so I'm going out today to try to get my record back. And that's what everybody here is doing.
We're all out here to have a good time and go fast. We do have our own pressure to get things done and go as fast as we can, but it's all self-employed pressure.
World of Speed is held every September on the Salt Flats, and it offers a chance for Volkswagens to set records on the same flats as the fastest racers in human history. When the first Western settlers stumbled upon the area just over 100 years ago, little did they know they were discovering the perfect extreme speed test track.
This is Lake Bonneville, but of course it's evaporated, and what we have now is this expanse of salt. And we've been racing on this salt since the early 1900s.
I've been out here since I was a little kid in 53 with my dad. He started in 1933, and the first race on the Bonneville Salt Flats was in 1949.
It's listed on the National Trust for Historic Places. It's an iconic area for all of us. We are very much involved in the effort to protect the Bonneville Salt Flats because it has been losing salt over the years, and this is our Save the Salt effort. And we have reached some agreements on how to reduce the degradation, and we're also now working on ways in which we can actually restore the Bonneville Salt Flats.
That restoration effort is close to the racers' hearts, as the survival of their sport depends on the survival of the salt flats themselves. Some competitors out here for World of Speed spend just a few days tweaking their cars before going for that record-breaking run, while for others, it's more like a full-time job.
It takes most of the year, believe it or not, to keep the car maintained. We run 3 races a year, and we have a goal of setting several records a year, which means you got several different engines, so it's a full year labor. I work on the car virtually every day.
And that work has paid off for Rick Vesco over the years. Team Vesco is responsible for breaking the land speed record for wheeled vehicles in 2001 at 458 miles an hour. That's a record that still holds today. Currently, they're working on a new version of the famous Turbinator with the hopes of breaking the 500-mile-an-hour barrier. And that's one of the fun things about World of Speed. Your friend from work might break a record on his bullet bike, and 10 minutes later, someone might become the fastest thing to ever race on the Salt Flats. World of Speed 2013 is going on September 7th through the 10th. And you can register at saltflats.com. While the competition is at the heart of any racing event, World of Speed is a bit different. Everyone here is more or less equal, with an equal chance to make their record-holding dreams come true. And while you're alone out there racing on the salt, while the world flies by, you're not alone back in the pits. Every competitor is a member of one big family.
Every year you anticipate coming out here and seeing your old friends and your childhood friends, and now we're all 65 and getting old, and our kids are taking over. And my daughter drove last year. She averaged 310 and set a record and got in the 300-mile-an-hour club.
If we had a competitor in our class, we would actually invite them to pit with us. We would share our computer data with them. And we're all trying to help each other do what we are all trying to do, and that's break world records. And if someone breaks my world record, I don't care. You know, as a matter of fact, I'll help him break the record, but then I'm going to go back and try to get it back.
So it may not be a day at the beach, but for racers at the World of Speed, there is nowhere they would rather be. For At Your Leisure, I'm Terry Wood.